Welcome to Sumita Roy's English Classroom. Here is a video on the importance of small talk for learning English. Everybody who wants to learn English would like to speak the language well. So if you want to speak well, then small talk is the best way to practice your speaking. I have already uploaded some videos on small talk. You can watch those videos along with this one. Here I'm going to give you 7 very important ideas how you can practice small talk and why these are important for you. Because if you want to really learn English and if you want to practice your English, please remember that it is this small talk which will help you. Please watch the video till the end so that you get all the 7 points I will give you. Also, share the video with others so that it reaches those who are searching for these kind of videos. I get many messages, many letters, many emails saying that we want to learn English. Then I have to tell them to go to this channel. If all of you help me by doing that, that will be great. Like the videos also when you watch and learn something, and you are commenting, of course, I feel happy. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. I forget to say all these things because every time I need not repeat all this. Let us now move on to the importance of small talk. When you want to speak, when you want to make connections, to start an interaction, small talk is very useful. Suppose you have a get-together where you do not know many people, but what should you do? You should start some interaction. In this way, you will make new friends, you will establish lifelong relationships. You go to somebody's house who has invited you. There you meet many people who are talking to each other. There's one person who's sitting next to you but not speaking to anybody. Then you can start a small talk by saying, "Hello, I am Sumita Roy." That person will automatically say, "I am such and such a person." Then you share your details by saying, "Do you live in this city? Do you live in this locality? What do you do? Do you work? Where do you work?" All these questions, if you ask, that becomes a small talk. Then suddenly you might find that both of you have become good friends. Next time when you meet in some other place, maybe in the shop or in the bus stop, then you find, "Oh, hello, we have met before." And by this time you find that you might share some interests. This is the second point. So starting a small talk with a person you might not know, with a person whom you would like to know, is very good. We should be very polite when we ask questions, but as we ask questions, we might find common interests. You say that, "What do you do in your free time?" That person says, "I love reading books." Then you say, "Oh, even I love reading books. What books have you read recently?" Then you start a conversation about books. You say, "Oh, have you read that book? I read it many years back, but it is still there in my memory." In this way, you start discussing books. So point number 2, the importance of small talk for learning English is to share your common interests. If somebody is interested in gardening, you see there's already one small talk on gardening. You find that you can talk about gardening. If somebody is interested in interiors, then you say, "Oh, your house is very beautiful. Who does your interiors?" That person says, no, I do it myself. And say, even I'm interested in interiors. Let us talk about how you got this. Then somebody says, oh, these plates, you see, these plates I bought from Turkey. And those other plates are from Kashmir. I've put them all together on this wall. You see how you are generating thoughts from your own mind. You are putting those thoughts into English and the conversation is going forward. You are sharing experiences. You are sharing what you love doing. You can talk about your hobby or you can talk about your family. In this way, you find that shared interest becomes very important and your small talk becomes better. Your English improves if you take this. That is point number 2. Now we come to point number 3. And that is important for all of us learning any language. Small talk is a wonderful way of improving your listening and speaking skills. When somebody is talking, do not interrupt them. Listen to them even if they are talking for a long time. If you listen for a long time, then your English is improving. Because listening to a language, listening to the ideas that other person is giving you, a different structure, a different vocabulary, a topic which might be new to you, shared experience or getting to know you, you might come across things which you don't know. And therefore, you're listening to them carefully, not only listening to, them in such a way that you understand, okay, what they are saying, but you also formulate your responses. Don't interrupt, but don't keep silent also. When somebody is sharing their experience, when somebody wants to talk to you, don't be silent. Once they finish talking, the other person finishes, then you have to contribute. I will soon do another one where important phrases to carry out a small talk, to take it forward. That video I will do soon. You will learn how important it is. Somebody tells you 10 sentences, then you can't keep silent. You have to at least ask a question or make a comment or give a compliment. All these things carry the conversation forward. If somebody shares an experience and you have a similar experience, that person says, I went to the mall yesterday and this is what happened to me. Describes that incident. Then you say, which mall? Is it Next Mall? Or is it Super Mall? Or is it the Quest Mall? Where did you go? Now, I also went to a mall and I had a very funny experience. Then you have a chance to practice your speaking. So first listening and then speaking. That is why small talk is so important. Just listening to somebody's speech, just listening to, something which is happening around you, to the news or to the video is only one part of listening. But when you keep talking to each other, that is listening and responding, listening and responding. That is very important as far as small talk. Small talks gives us this opportunity. Next, we move to number 4, and that is when you are used to small talk, your confidence increases. First, when you are starting a small talk, you might not have confidence. Somebody asks you, oh, are you new to this place? I have never seen you before. You say no, or you say yes. You keep quiet. That means you have no confidence. But slowly, as you take part in small talk, you say, yes, I have come to this city only a month back. I'm just trying to find my way in this city. Do you belong to this city? Now see that, one question got 4 sentences out of you. That gives you confidence. Then that person says, yes, I was born and brought up in this city. Anytime you need any help, please let me know. Then you say, what are the sights to see in this city? I have heard that there is a museum, there is an amusement park, and there is a fort, there is a river. Which should I see first? And what else would you recommend? You see how the small talk is going? You are speaking confidently, and the second is you are speaking spontaneously. You don't have to think and then say something. The words are coming naturally to you. That is why small talk is so important. Unless you practice small talk, you cannot get better. Now you see how I'm doing both sides of the small talk. I don't have another person here with me. I'm giving you examples by being two people, and I'm carrying out the small talk for your benefit. So can you not practice on your own? Can you not do it to become confident and spontaneous without looking for a companion to start with? Later you will go out into the world and you will, carry out the small talk. But today, if you want to practice, think of various small talks which you have had in your own language. You go for a wedding, you meet so many of the wedding guests and you keep talking about something or the other. Remember, I did a video on the rhyme of the ancient mariner. There was a wedding guest, and the wedding guest was not allowed to attend the wedding because an ancient mariner was telling him about his experiences of killing a bird and suffering for it. So you can see how small talk, you can make a small talk. Watch that video and have two people, the wedding guest and the old sailor. So the wedding guest says, please let me go. My friend is getting married. I have to go. The sailor says, no, listen to my story. Again, the wedding guest says, how much more of the story is left? Or the wedding guest starts saying, okay, even I had such an experience. I also made a mistake. So you have an entire video, the rhyme of the ancient mariner, which can give you the opportunity to practice how to have a small talk. These are all videos available on the channel. You search using the title, you will get it. In this way, you find that it is possible for us to become confident and spontaneous practicing on our own. That was the fourth point we did. Now let us move on to the point number 5. Small talk can show people that you are willing to help. Suppose you find that on the road somebody has fallen down. You are walking on the road, somebody has fallen down. You go and help that person, but just the action of helping is not enough. You start some conversation. Are you hurt? Should I take you to the hospital? Would you like me to call somebody? Somebody was walking on the road, fell down and the specs broke and blood started coming out of the forehead. So you get worried. You say, oh, there is a lot of blood. Let me see, I have some cotton and some antiseptic in my bag. I will give it to you. Let me help you to clean your wound. That person says, thank you. I'm not badly hurt, but please call my daughter and tell her that I fell down on the road. So he or she gives you the telephone. And you call up the daughter and say that your father or your mother has had a small accident. I'm waiting here at this point. I will be with your mother or with your father till you come. Then you give the phone back and you say, shall we sit on this bench by the side of the road? Then you start talking to each other. This is a small talk in an emergency. This is a small talk not for pleasure. This is a small talk not because you are passing time or you are at leisure. It is a small talk in an emergency. Very often, if you just, lift that person and make that person sit on the bench and leave and go away, that trauma remains. Talking is like medicine. Please remember that if a person is able to speak after falling down, that means the person is better. If that person is unable to speak, unable to, recognize what is in front of the eyes, that means the person is very badly hurt. So, carrying out a small talk here shows you the good health or the state of the health of the person. You see how important small talk is? It is not only for learning English, it is also for showing that we are human beings. We help each other. Somebody is going whose, pet dog or cat gets hurt. You do the same thing. You are showing that you have a human side. You have a kind and empathetic side. This is what is small talk, where we have, the important situation where it is not for building a connection, but where it is for helping someone. If you want to help someone, if you see that someone is in trouble, then you do a small talk. Usually what happens, if your vehicle hits somebody, everybody starts fighting with you. That is not a small talk. That is conflict. We avoid conflict. We try to be helpful. We try to be pleasant, and we try to be humane. The word is Humane, not Human, but humane. Humane means kind, to be a good human being. So that was the one we saw, that is number 5. Then we have another one, and that is number 6. Many times, small talk can be about something which is very, very important. So, if you want to carry out a meaningful conversation, you must have small talk practice. Why is it important to practice small talk while learning English? That is what I told you the video is about. So if you want to improve your language, if you want to improve your abilities to use the language, please remember that you need to practice small talk. Practice it on your own. Suppose you're a scientist. Then you carry out a small talk with somebody who asks you, I have heard you are doing a lot of work with AI. AI is artificial intelligence. Everybody is talking about it. So here is a person you've met for the first time. You say, I have heard that you are doing a lot of work with AI. Because whoever introduced you said that he's a scientist, he's working with AI. Then you say, I want to learn about AI. Would you be able to tell me? Then that person tells you, what is artificial intelligence? Then you say, what are the uses of artificial intelligence? Can we use it to replace human beings? Is it possible that human intelligence will become less important? Artificial intelligence will become more important? See how serious you are carrying out an important conversation. Then you say, I'm a teacher or I'm a student. What is the use of artificial intelligence to me? Can I use artificial intelligence while teaching? Can I use artificial intelligence for learning? Again, that person replies to you. So in this way, you can carry out interesting conversations, conversations on particular subjects, some specializations. Suppose you are talking to a doctor or you're talking to a yoga therapist. You say, oh, I walk sometimes. Then the doctor says, no, you must walk every day because walking is very good for health. Then you say, no, I get up very late and the sun is very hot. I cannot walk when it is so hot. Then the other person says, can you not walk in the evening? You say, no, evening, it is very dark. I cannot walk. Then the doctor says, you can also try a treadmill. Treadmill is a machine on which you can walk. It is mechanical, so you can keep it inside a room and you can use it. Or you can go to a gym and use it. In this way, you have a health consultation, you have a meaningful small talk. That is number 6, which we did. Now we come to the last of our points. Why is it important? I told you I'll give you 7 points. Now this is point number 7. If you have the ability to carry out a small talk, that means your social skills are very good. Why are we learning language? We are learning language to communicate with each other. We love human beings, we love others, we love relationships. We always want to talk to each other. There are very, very rare people who want to always be silent and never talk. Whether it is your personal life or it is your professional life, you need to talk to develop your social skill. And always you cannot have only giving orders, taking orders in your professional life or complaining to each other in your personal life. You can sometimes have very pleasant small talk. Suppose it is your personal life. The entire family sits for dinner at 8 o'clock. Now each person says, this is how I spent my day. Your children tell you what they did in school. Your parents tell you what they did at home the whole day. You and your husband or you and your wife talk about the office, what you did there. Anything special which happened in any of your lives, you talk about. So small talk is not with 2 people. Here the small talk is among 6 to 10 people, depending on how many members you have in your family. So everybody is sharing something. If you start doing this, you might be talking in your mother tongue. If you take that entire conversation, put it into English, because I told you thinking in English is most important. So think of the whole conversation which you had actually in your house today. Sit in the evening for half an hour, put it all in English and speak it out yourself. Now you are 6 to 10 people, you are not one person. So all the 6 to 10 people, you speak out a conversation which you have thought, because it was in another language, you have, thought about it in your mind. You need not mention, exact translation. You can take just the gist and put it in words of your own. Once you do that, you will find that you are gaining confidence in the use of English. Your ability to use English is becoming better. There is a video, Think in English. So we need to think now. So think of all that happened, all the people you spoke to, and then try to put it into a small talk. You will find that you are getting sufficient practice. Unless we practice, we don't become better. It is important to have small talk in order to improve your English. But small talk has to be practiced regularly, all the time. Then you get benefited. So I wish all of you all the best. I hope you will practice as I'm telling you in each video. And also, I thank you for watching these videos.